August the 23rd, 2020. As you're looking at Marco out in the Gulf, and it's wrapping up very tightly. Notice along the Gulf Coast, Florida, you've been getting clouds for days, but here in central Mississippi, the sun's going down as it was getting hot. It was like 95 degrees early, but then it's pushing the heat and moisture off the Gulf right now out in front of it. But you notice it's probably getting cloudy in your area from anywhere from coastal Mississippi across Alabama and starting to come in down into South Louisiana now. The storm is predicted to be a hurricane. Let's take a look at some of the warnings. Now, what you can see here from Sabine Pass, Texas, on the Louisiana line, all the way through Morgan City, down to the mouth of the Mississippi River, up through Lake Bourne, Lake Pontchartrain here, all of Mississippi, all the way into Pensacola, Perdido. Storm surge warnings on the outer edges, 1 to 3 feet. Along the Mississippi coast, 2 to 4 feet. 4 to 6 feet, Lake Bourne, Pontchartrain, 4 to 6 feet here. Morgan City, it doesn't give us a rating, but you can figure somewhere between 3 and 4 feet according to this, 2 to 2.4 feet in this area. So you're going to have, again, full moon, high tide. They're saying waves on top of this. It says the combination of a dangerous storm surge and the tide will cause normally dry areas near the coast to be flooded by rising waters moving inland from the shoreline. The water could reach the following heights above ground somewhere within the indicated areas if the peak surge occurs at the same time as the high tide. The deepest water will occur along the immediate coast near the landfall location, where the surge will be accompanied by large and destructive waves. Surge-related flooding depends on the relative timing of the surge and the tidal cycle and can vary greatly over short distances. And so, guys, at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, Monday morning, this is where the storm is. Pretty much after that, you better be ready. The red is hurricane warnings. The blue is tropical storm warnings. The yellow is tropical storm watches. This goes over into Florida. So you're under the gun, Louisiana and South Mississippi. If the thing turns to the right at all, this will change, but they've got it coming ashore. Again, possible Cat 1 hurricane, slowing to a storm after it comes ashore. Now, the reason I say Cat 1 is if it's going to slow down that fast, usually it doesn't take long for Cat 1 to become a very powerful tropical storm. Now, Laura is a different story. Now, it's still at 50 mile per hour sustained winds, movements west-northwest at 21 miles an hour. But notice here as it comes in 8 p.m. Tuesday here, 8 a.m. Wednesday morning. That's a good thing because it will be coming ashore possibly during the daytime, or at least the outer edges of it. But notice how far inland it remains a hurricane. There's a reason for this. Now, you've got tropical storm warnings up all through Cuba, tropical storm warnings up through the Bahamas and the Keys in South Florida. Now, this should be a wake-up call for the Gulf Coast. We don't know exactly where it's going to come ashore yet, but Wednesday at 8 a.m., the storm is setting here. Tuesday at 8 p.m. here is a Category 1, but notice it's a Cat 2 even after it comes ashore. So sometimes between Wednesday morning and Thursday evening, there's going to be rapid strengthening, guys. They've got it centered for Sabine Pass right now. Again, that could change, but being a Cat 2 coming ashore instead of downgrading into a tropical depression tells us a lot about the rapid strengthening during Wednesday. A lot of the same area is going to be affected. The curve's going to bring it back over our state here. We're already going to be getting drenched from what's coming with Marco, guys. But again, this is very important. The storm, when it comes off the Cuban coast, it's going to rapidly accelerate in the same waters that Marco is in now. But a Cat 2 coming ashore, this is not playing. Do not take this storm lightly. Do not take Marco lightly. But this one's going to be trouble. Now, this is the update, Sunday at 1:30 p.m., just about 15 or 20 minutes ago, guys. And what concerns me, they're showing the central section in the cone coming into South Louisiana. But both the Navy and the Canadian model have it coming up the Mississippi River, but then coming into central Mississippi. So if you're going to have a Cat 2 coming ashore, you all of my friends, this is my area. The Navy model comes right over my house as far as this tracking. So we're going to have to watch it, guys. We could have a possible Cat 2 slowing down at this point. But we can't take our eyes off this. I trust the Canadian and the Navy model more than any of the other ones. They're a good way to use an average. And both of these have the storm coming back out up and through Virginia and Washington, D.C. So we'll see. I just want to do that update, especially on the Cat 2 situation and the storm surge situation. Now, let's quickly take a look at the spaghetti models for Marco. Now, here you have the combined models up until just offshore of both Canada and the U.S. Navy, bringing ashore just south of and west of the mouth of the Mississippi River right there. You got some models moving it up, but right now we're going to go with that. I'm going to go with that track that they're showing. It could vary slightly, but these are very accurate models, and they're very close to the area where the cone is. But you can see where the Canadian model is bringing ashore just right here into South Louisiana, guys. We'll take a look at the wide satellite images. Now here you can see the system that's moved off the Mexico coast near Baja, moving out to guys that may make it out to Hawaii. We'll keep an eye on it. Here's Marco wrapping up, but this is becoming very impressive back here over the islands. And so once again, when it breaks landfall, we got double trouble. And this image gives us a good view of both storms together. Remember, they can interact up to 800 miles apart, and they're probably pretty close to that right now. But anyway, here is the center of circulation moving offshore now, about to come into Cuba. And look at how well wrapped Marco is. It may not be long before we're seeing an eye on this. The next report very well could be a Cat 1 hurricane. These are the outer bands starting to move up, and we're getting bouts of sun and clouds right now. That's helping the temperature some. But do not play with this storm, guys. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's very good rotation around the center. And a little better close-up, guys, just to give you an idea. This is a zoomed-in satellite again over the Gulf of Mexico. Everything's pulling in with the storm now. It's headed north, more than likely going to come into South Louisiana. But that means that the worst part of the storm, the northeast quadrant, guys, this side, as it rotates counterclockwise, would be in the Mississippi area. Just keep an eye on it. We're watching it, guys. This thing is looking very dangerous. So between now and impact tomorrow night and then Wednesday is not that long of time. So when this one passes, just be prepared. Don't rush back into a bad situation with a Cat 2 coming at you. Be prepared to stay away a little longer than you normally would. It's a heads up, guys. Be safe. We'll be updating this as soon as changes come in.